From a modest height, the eagle dives, locking onto its target at the very moment it commits. Its massive wings cut through the air, each powerful beat narrowing the space around the pursuit. Once caught within that line of sight, no target is able to break free from the chase. Distance collapses in an instant as speed and gravity merge into a decisive outcome. This is not a hunt, but a moment where a dominant force determines the result. From an altitude above 100 feet, where the air is thin and cold, a silent presence begins to take shape. The eagle, the ruler of the upper skies, sweeps its sharp vision across the sun-scorched plain. With eyesight capable of identifying a target from nearly 2 miles away, it waits patiently for a brief opening from below. Down on the ground, lizards set out on a risky passage. They are forced to leave the rocky edges near the water and move farther inland to find places to sustain the next generation. Near-perfect camouflage allows them to blend into the surroundings, supported by a highly responsive nervous system that can react in fractions of a second. But in open ground with no shelter, every attempt to remain unseen loses its value. The moment unfolds as the eagle draws in its wings and descends at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour. There is no sound and no warning. In an instant, talons capable of exerting hundreds of pounds of pressure secure the target, neutralizing all resistance through overwhelming physical force. As dust settles, the conqueror rises once more, carrying vital sustenance back to the nest high above. In the unforgiving balance of survival, the distance between life and loss can be no wider than the reach of a single set of talons. Across the vast savanna, the martial eagle stands as a symbol of power from the sky. It is among the largest and strongest birds of prey in Africa, weighing about 14 pounds, with a solid build and broad wings that allow it to command rising air currents from the ground. It does not limit its focus to small targets, but also applies pressure to agile mammal species that move across the plains. Below, a herd of Thompson's gazelles stays in constant motion to maintain safety. They are known for speed and sharp awareness, yet within any formation there are fragile moments. Young gazelles, weighing around 15 pounds, are especially vulnerable, as a brief loss of rhythm can open a dangerous gap. A single dive follows, fast, clean, and precise, bringing together speed, gravity, and surprise. The inexperienced target has little chance to respond, and the pursuit concludes quickly. At another moment, fortune shifts when a mother gazelle moves in to shield the young, using her own body to divert the aerial threat. That courage can only extend the moment. When the advantage fades, the martial eagle disengages, lifting back into the sky with vital sustenance secured. In the world of wild canines, survival is rarely an individual story. The pack serves as protection, as a tool, and as the fragile line between safety and danger. Wolves are a clear example of collective strength. Each individual weighs around 110 pounds and relies entirely on discipline and coordination to endure. Yet during times of scarcity, when food becomes limited, some individuals are forced to separate and survive alone. That moment leaves them more exposed than ever. From above, the eagle observes. With sharp vision and the ability to read movement, it waits for the slightest break in rhythm. When the moment arrives, the dive is swift and precise. Talons measuring nearly 2 inches apply controlling pressure, enough to force an immediate reaction within a very narrow window. Encounters like this are extremely rare, but even a single instance is enough to demonstrate the eagle's commanding presence over even seasoned ground hunters. With coyotes, encounters tend to be brief and tense. Smaller than wolves, but quick and alert, they are ready to respond in short confrontations. Most of these moments are not about final outcomes, but about maintaining access to resources or prompting the other to withdraw. For the eagle, rapid reflexes and control of distance allow it to keep the advantage and avoid being drawn into prolonged conflict. Along the sheer cliffs of the Caucasus Range, ibex reign as natural climbing athletes. Their specialized hooves allow them to grip narrow ledges less than 3 inches wide, where even a strong gust can unsettle balance. Weighing up to about 260 pounds, a fully grown individual appears to sit beyond most hunting calculations. When winter arrives, the rock face turns into a test of endurance. In search of mineral salts, the ibex are forced to move closer to the edge, where every step becomes a calculated risk. That vulnerability is precisely what the sky has been waiting for. From above, a pair of golden eagles, with wingspans exceeding 7 feet, establish a carefully planned approach. The female flies low, pressing close to the cliff to apply direct pressure, guiding the target toward narrow angles with limited options. Higher up, the male holds a watchful position, waiting for a brief misalignment. When the moment arrives, the male descends at speeds approaching 200 miles per hour. Without direct engagement, it uses momentum to deliver a precisely timed impact at the center of balance. On unstable terrain, this single disruption breaks the hoof's grip, allowing gravity to determine the outcome. Amid the dense rainforests of South America, monkeys survive through constant vigilance and collective strength. An individual rarely strays from the group because safety exists only within formation. Many troops maintain a size of around 20 members, moving in sync across trunks, vines, and thick canopy layers that form a living maze. High above, the harpy eagle watches with patience. With vision estimated to be about 8 times sharper than that of humans, it detects even the smallest movements beneath the leaves. Unhurried, the harpy waits for a moment of imbalance, when the troop's attention shifts in one direction and a single, lagging individual becomes exposed. The eagle draws in its wings to a span of nearly 7 feet, gliding through the canopy layers, avoiding branches and changing direction within tight space. Its long tail works like a rudder, holding a steady path until the final instant. Distance disappears in a blink. One decisive close approach, and the hunt comes to an end. Within the old-growth canopy, the harpy's regular prey also includes sloths, slow-moving residents of the upper forest. Where light is broken by leaves and branches, dominance is not defined by strength alone. It is defined by precision and by the ability to turn the prey's own environment into a decisive advantage. Rabbits are small animals, constantly exposed to threats from both ground and sky. Their survival depends on speed and agility. When danger appears, a rabbit can reach speeds of around 45 miles per hour, combining bursts of movement with leaps nearly 10 feet long to escape. Yet that very movement makes them visible to eagles. With keen eyesight, the eagle descends from above like an arrow. The grasp happens in an instant, with talons about 2 inches long applying 400 to 500 pounds of pressure, enough to fully control the target immediately. Even though success rates reach only a little over 20%, each encounter helps regulate rabbit populations and maintain ecological balance across grasslands. Along river mouths, large lakes, and coastal zones, the livelihood of many eagle species is closely tied to fish. Below the surface, schools move within ripples, while refraction shifts their apparent position. As a result, fishing becomes a test of angles and timing. From above, the eagle circles to read movement, then adjusts its path toward where the fish will rise closest to the surface. The opening lasts only a moment. The bird lifts the target upward, beating its wings forcefully to overcome the resistance of the water. Moments later, it regains altitude, holding the catch firmly as it leaves the surface behind, ripples slowly fading below. These fish are more than captures. They are essential energy for the nest above. There, young eagles grow with each precisely timed meal, continuing a path of survival shaped by their parents in the sky. Under the sun-scorched savanna, the honey badger surges into pursuit like a flash of lightning. Its strength is not defined by appearance, but by close pressure that forces opponents into mistakes. Whether hunting or facing a confrontation, it advances repeatedly, refusing to retreat. Knocked down, it rises again. Death is treated as nothing more than a test. In the spiral of survival, the most feared force is the one that makes an opponent believe defeat is inevitable from the very first moment. Under the harsh African savanna sun, a golden figure patrols like a living clock of power. It is the lion, the ruler of the grasslands, declaring that this land has an owner. But today, a small movement cuts through the stillness. The honey badger. It moves straight ahead, crossing the lion's path as if unaware of any hierarchy of the plains. The lion closes in, the distance shrinking quickly. The honey badger does not retreat. Instead, its posture sends a warning. One more step will carry a cost. Thick yet loose skin allows it to twist and turn, making it difficult to pin down. Scent glands release a strong musk, an invisible barrier that forces the opponent to reconsider. The standoff stretches for more than 20 minutes, not to decide a winner, but to measure energy and risk. In the end, the lion stops and turns away, not out of fear, but because a true ruler knows which encounters are worth the price. On the savanna, authority is not only about size, but about awareness. Sometimes ignoring a smaller target is how territory is preserved for tomorrow. However, if the honey badger moves deeper into the center of a pride, especially among multiple hungry lionesses, the balance can shift very quickly. When numbers close in and no retreat remains, boldness can become the cost of stepping too far. African wild dogs, seasoned hunters with an 80% success rate, a figure that surpasses both lions and leopards. Their strength does not come from muscle, but from cold, disciplined pack strategy built on endurance and precision. Yet when the circle closes, the honey badger shows no hesitation. Instead of yielding, it chooses a proactive defense, striking first to create space. It attacks while moving, forcefully driving predators back. Most importantly, it deliberately pulls the encounter toward dense cover. In tight terrain, the conflict shifts to one-on-one. At close range, the pack's numerical advantage is neutralized. Wild dogs are not the only notorious threat. Hyenas are equally feared. An adult can weigh over 140 pounds, about 7 times heavier than its opponent. With a bite force reaching roughly 1,100 pounds per square inch, they are built to overpower through pressure and intimidation. They rely not only on pursuit, but on psychological stress. Their sharp vocalizations and relentless advances create an atmosphere that can overwhelm even the most resilient animals. Aware of this, the honey badger always acts first, targeting moments of weakness to disrupt resolve. If the opposing formation falters, even briefly, it disappears into the brush. With sharp judgment paired with unyielding determination, the honey badger becomes a target that is never easily claimed. On the unforgiving plains, survival is a true equation of energy. The honey badger never waits for a free meal. Every target is a carefully calculated raid. When facing a leopard tortoise, a mobile fortress weighing about 40 pounds with a heavily calcified shell, the honey badger does not waste effort on the outer armor. Instead, it patiently searches for weakness along the shell's edge, using sharp claws like levers to grip, lift, and shift the center of balance. When the defensive posture becomes unstable, the encounter ends with a calm that feels almost unsettling. Moving into marshland, it even challenges the Nile crocodile, a giant known for a bite force reaching roughly 3,700 psi. In the territory of such giants, the honey badger avoids direct confrontation. It stays within blind spots, waiting for a moment of imbalance before applying control. The encounter settles as the target is drawn into dense cover, leaving behind a heavy, lingering silence. Deep within the vast wilderness, honey is not just something sweet. It is liquid gold, concentrated energy powerful enough to draw in the most fearless creatures. At this moment, the honey badger doesn't move like a hunter. It moves like one returning home. It does not search for luck. It follows a map of memory. Its sense of smell reaches across thousands of feet, catching traces of sweetness in thin air and correcting every step. When temperatures drop below 75 degrees Fahrenheit, the process begins. Not blindly. With claws measuring about 1.5 inches, it carefully opens aged wood from the edges, controlled, deliberate, designed to manage the chaos that follows. Bees surge outward like a wave of heat. But skin nearly 0.25 inches thick turns the honey badger into a living shield, resistant to repeated stings. Yet claws and skin are not the whole story. What truly allows survival is restraint. It takes only what is needed, then withdraws. Greed is never allowed to lead the way. In the natural world, danger often hides beneath cold scales. Cobras and vipers strike in an instant, about 0.3 seconds, a product of evolution at its finest. With venom projected up to roughly 8 feet, these reflex-driven hunters create a danger zone most animals instinctively avoid. Yet there is one creature ready to challenge that rule: the honey badger. Weighing only around 30 pounds, yet carrying the resolve of something far larger. It steps directly into the danger boundary, eyes fixed on the target. The snake climbs into the branches to escape. The honey badger follows, quickening the pursuit. A brief loss of balance. The opponent drops to the ground. Moments later, the encounter settles and the tension fades. The snake's most feared defense, venom, meets the honey badger's natural resistance. Even after a bite, it may collapse briefly, rest, and then rise again not long after to continue on. It is this quiet toughness, without display, that allows this survivor to endure into tomorrow. Facing a rock python stretching over 12 feet, the honey badger steps into a survival gamble on dry grassland. Coiled muscles tighten like steel cables, turning every breath into a race against time. Despite being vastly smaller, the honey badger remains a presence even reptiles treat with caution. The pursuit begins as it tracks the python by scent, using an acute sense of smell to probe rocky gaps until the target is found resting in the grass. Without hesitation, the honey badger moves in. The python responds with rapid defensive strikes, then attempts to restrain with pressure reaching about 25 pounds per square inch. At that moment, a curious jackal passes nearby. The python's focus slips for an instant, and the hold loosens. Seizing the brief opening, the honey badger breaks free, closes the distance, and acts swiftly. Ignoring all outside distractions, it pulls the heavy opponent, weighing dozens of pounds, into thick brush to secure its hard-earned meal, while jackals watch from a distance. On the savannah, strength alone is never a guaranteed advantage. Composure and timing are what allow survival to continue. The leopard is the ghost of open woodland, silent, patient, and precise as a clean cut. With a lean body weighing over 100 pounds, it dominates through camouflage and sudden bursts of speed. When a young honey badger falls within its focus, the leopard begins a high-stakes encounter, pressing the target into a narrowing corner. But the moment a distress call breaks the air, the mother honey badger appears like a black and white flash. Without hesitation, she moves in with explosive force, closing distance repeatedly to disrupt the predator's rhythm. Her overwhelming aggression forces the leopard, despite its greater size, to pull back. The small patch of grass instantly becomes an untouchable zone. Though the leopard returns more than once to probe the area, attempting to use patience and cunning to find an opening, the outcome does not change. Against unyielding resolve and a powerful protective instinct, even the most confident hunter is compelled to abandon the plan. Every encounter, whether it ends in success or not, is an equation of energy and a reminder that eagles do more than pursue food. They serve as a critical link, helping keep populations moving in balance. For those who wish to continue exploring the refined survival strategies of the wild world, the journey continues in the next episode. Staying with the series and choosing to like and subscribe helps ensure that the stories ahead are not missed.